Caner Universe, it's Caner Tip Tuesday. Listen, today, this is an important one because this is one of the most overlooked cane skills that can save your life, and I'll explain what that is in a minute. But before we get started, as always, a warm welcome from sunny Miami, Florida. And to those of you that are here for the first time, or even those of you that watch us every week, have you subscribed to the channel first so that you don't miss any future content? Hit that little bell icon because it alerts you to it. Go ahead and do that now. And please also, you have 2 free resources. Avail yourself now of these so that you don't forget. The first one is the no-cost cane clarity call. You get that by texting the letter CCC to 305-745-7839 in less than 24 hours. The staff will be on a phone call with you, answering all your questions, not just about canes, but more importantly, how to get cane trained wherever you are. And you don't have an ACSD certified instructor. We'll show you how we're doing that because caners worldwide are just doing it. We just had fall cane immersion and it was outstanding. And so all over the world, how do these caners get started? That's what you're going to discover there. And also, there is a group that is open to the public. It's a private group, but all you have to do is request entry. Look at the description. It's a Facebook group. It's called Cane Flow, Move Better, Protect Better, Live Better. Okay, 2 powerful resources to get you on track with the cane. And so today what we're looking at, last week we looked at how to outsmart your opponent. And basically you're dealing up here, and all these shots that draw the attention to the upper body ended up being lower body shots. Very difficult for an opponent to defend against that. Today, we're on the other side. How would you actually defend against that? You hear about people don't train because you just don't hear of attacks that are coming here. But what if somebody picks up an impact tool, long impact tool, baseball bat, whatever it is, metal pipe, and here they go, boom, to take out, because if they take out your wheels, now you can't run away, now you can't escape. Okay, and so let's take a look at that. When you look at our flows, you're going to see movements in there. The application is hidden in the flow. And you look at something that looks this way, right? And it's so simple, just that one move, and you say, there is no application to that. But I'm going to show you, when you break this down, what it is that you're doing there. For starters, that initial move where you're stepping back, that's called a broom sweep. And ACSD caners are familiar with it because it's the first thing in their 12 defense zones. And what you're doing, I'm going to turn this in for something a little longer. And this comes in. Look at the attack. We'll do it here from an angle. But 2 hands to take out. Boom, they take out your knee, you're done there. And so if you look at this movement, which is basically where you're sweeping, it moves you out of position so that you can catch that. And it's so important that you remove the foot. That's why it's movement based. Because if you do this and leave it there, now if she's striking hard enough, she can go right through. And either I'm gonna hit myself with the same cane, or she's just gonna break through that attack. So the movement is to deflect it here, but don't miss this. Every one of these moves should have a built-in counter to them. And off of this one, it looks this way. It just comes right over. When you look at it in the flow, boom, there it is. What is that move? So she's so committed, it's so difficult for her to stop that. Now, both hands are in here. She has no idea that I'm coming right over in that circular movement pattern to crack right over the head or crack on the clavicle. And so it would look right this way. That's certainly one of them. And by the way, you can do that to both sides, and I do recommend you train both sides. We can't afford to have a dominant or a non-dominant side, not to mention that's part of brain training. Second way to do this is, you'll see a lot of times you're handling here and you see that move. Boy, it's simple to do. You see it here, that kind of movement, right, that's coming in. So again, this is a strike that's coming to the lower body. And so what are we going to do there? So the movement, that's the way you're going to take it. Notice that both of them have this stepping back. You're creating a space to catch it here. You're so committed. Now the follow-up movement, if I'm here, I step back nice and slow, I can come right over. ACSD caners know this as a number 5. They come in here, boom, and then you're cracking right over. And this is the same thing. Now you're doing that with one hand. It's okay to go ahead and commit that hand, right, if it's a particularly hard strike. But notice that in both cases, I'm removing the target. That's one of the ACSD principles. Not enough to go ahead and block. She might be able to go through that block. Given the opportunity to remove the target, I'm going to choose to remove the target. Given the opportunity to remove the target and put the cane there to deflect it as a cover, absolutely that's the way that I'm going to go. So the third way of doing it, ACSD caners, again, familiar with this concept. Did you see it there? That's called a leg pass for us. That is called a leg pass. Everything else is just a counter. And for this one, you can come from here. It can be done obviously from either side. But when you're dealing here, that now it's coming in, you're going to remove the foot along with that cane coming through. And so the counter is to follow in that circle. Look at it here. You just removed it out of the way, you cracked, and now you're moving forward. So that you can put those movements, all right, when you're coming in here, you see how when you start linking those together, it starts looking like that floor, AKA the dance. But it's the dance what? It's the dance of defense. Sure, you can practice it for movement. Sure, you can practice it for better balance, for better coordination. All these side benefits that come from cane flow, but it has the application built in there. Once you're exposed and you know what that is, then boy, it just changes your perspective. And as always, how do you learn this? You're looking at it and you say, hey, I'm going to learn it from there. There's details that I put into this. This is showing you potential, but it's not expected that, hey, I'm going to slow that down, because there are things that, well, we don't have the time to share all the fine details that go into that. And one of the things that you don't want to do, and we notice this in the cane flow group, boy, we really appreciate your enthusiasm for the flow, but just picking up a cane and moving with it in a random fashion, that does not make it ACSD cane flow. It does not. As a matter of fact, there's a list of criteria in that group that clearly identifies, and you say, hey, these are the moves that you can find within the flow. So what happens is, when you start looking and trying to imitate without knowing what it is that you're doing, you're building habits that violate tactical principles. So then when you do get trained, we have to get those out of the nervous system. It's a lot easier if you look at it and you say, yep, that resonates with me. That's the way I want to get trained. That's what I want to do. And don't, read the reviews, and we have caners in here that have physical challenges, that have physical limitations. Our job, as the professionals, we know how to circumvent, work around that. For the simple reason, I always say that criminals don't care. So regardless of what your injury is and what your limitation, let's have a conversation and see how we can make that training real for you. But it's so much more effective and easier if you get it done right from the onset than if you ingrain something in the nerve system and then we have to undo it. Does that make sense? So the way to do that, again, avail yourself of that no-cost cane clarity call. Doesn't cost you a penny. Text the letter CCC to 305-745-7839. We love talking to you. There's an actual 800 number. We answer the phones in this day and age. It's 800-289-8188. I'm Joe Robaina for American Cane Self-Defense. Thanks for watching. Keep training. Stay safe.